I remember the exact moment everything changed. My dad was laughing, telling everyone how I never finished anything in life. And then my uncle's phone buzzed. He looked at the screen, froze, and slowly turned it toward me. That's when the entire table went silent. I used to hate family gatherings. Not because of the noise or the awkward small talk or even the endless questions about my life, but because I already knew how the night would go. It always started the same way. My mom would smile, introduce me to someone new and say, "This is my daughter. She's still figuring things out." Still figuring things out. That was her favorite phrase. It sounded harmless, almost supportive, but everyone knew what it really meant. It meant I wasn't successful. It meant I didn't meet expectations. It meant I was the disappointment of the family. And then of course came my sister. "Now this one," my dad would say, placing a proud hand on her shoulder. "She's the one who made us proud. She had a law degree, a stable career, a perfect life, at least from the outside. And me? I had dropped out of college after my second year. Not because I was lazy, not because I didn't care, but because I realized I was building someone else's dream, not mine. Of course, no one ever asked why I left. They just labeled me the dropout, the one who couldn't handle it, the mistake. First, I tried to explain myself. I told them I wanted to build something of my own. I told them I had ideas, plans, a vision. But every time I spoke, I saw the same look in their eyes. Doubt. So eventually, I stopped talking. I stopped explaining. I stopped defending myself. I just disappeared. Not physically, but emotionally. I moved into a tiny apartment, got a part-time job to survive, and spent every free moment working on something no one believed in. An online business. First it was nothing. Just a laptop, a slow internet connection, and a lot of late nights. I failed more times than I can count. Websites that didn't work, products that didn't sell, ideas that went nowhere. But I kept going, because for the first time in my life, I wasn't doing it for anyone else. I was doing it for me. Meanwhile, my family continued their narrative. Every holiday, every gathering, every phone call. It was the same story. Still nothing. "Any real job yet? Are you going back to school?" And sometimes when they thought I couldn't hear, she wasted her potential. I don't know where we went wrong with her. Those words used to break me. But over time, they became fuel. Because while they were talking, I was building. Slowly, quietly, consistently. And then one day something changed. One of my ideas finally worked. It wasn't overnight success. It wasn't some magical breakthrough. But it was enough. Enough to pay my rent. Enough to quit my part-time job. Enough to prove to myself that I wasn't crazy. And from that moment on, everything started to grow. By the time the next big family gathering came around, it had been almost 7 years. 7 years of silence. 7 years of being the failure. 7 years of building something no one knew about. I almost didn't go. But something inside me told me it was time. So I showed up. Same house. Same people. Same energy. And just like always, it started again. My dad laughed, telling a group of relatives. She tried college. Didn't last long. A few people chuckled. My mom added, "She's still figuring things out." Still figuring things out. I smiled. Not because it didn't hurt, but because this time it didn't matter. Dinner started. 30 people around a long table. Conversations overlapping. Laughter. Noise. And then, a phone buzzed. It was my uncle. He glanced down at the screen. And suddenly his expression changed. Confusion. Then shock. Then something else. Something I couldn't quite read. "Wait," he said, interrupting the table. Everyone looked at him. He didn't speak right away. Instead, he slowly turned his phone toward the center of the table. It's her," he said. The room went quiet. I felt every pair of eyes shift toward me. On his screen was a news article. A feature story. About a rapidly growing online brand. Founded by me. My name. My company. My story. Front and center. Someone whispered, "Is this real?" My dad leaned forward, grabbing the phone. He read it once, then again. His face went pale. My mom didn't say anything. She just stared at me like she was seeing me for the first time. And for the first time in 7 years, no one had anything to say. No jokes. No labels. No pity. Just silence. Heavy, undeniable silence. Finally, my dad spoke. You built this?" I nodded. That was it. No long speech. No dramatic moment. Just a simple answer. Yes. And something shifted in that room. Not because I proved them wrong, but because I no longer needed to. I didn't feel angry. I didn't feel the need to say, "I told you so."
In fact, I felt nothing. No resentment. No validation. Just peace. Because the truth is, I didn't build all of that to prove them wrong. I built it because I refused to stay where they put me. And that night, for the first time, they realized they never really knew me at all. If this story meant something to you, make sure to subscribe for more powerful and emotional stories like this. And tell me in the comments, have you ever been underestimated by your own family? Or had to build your life without their support?